Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheraton Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. So today we're going to talk a little bit about our loading chute. Had a couple of folks ask for us to do a video talking about our loading chute and kind of detailing it and giving some measurements and talk a little bit about the evolution and how we came up with this. And so we're going to do that today, and stick around to the end. We're going to do that giveaway that I've been talking about. We're going to talk about that at the end of the video, and we're going to tell you how you can get signed up for that and how you can enter into a drawing. So hang out with us for a little while, and let's talk about one of the most useful things that we've ever had built for the farm. Hang around. So for those of you that have livestock that you have to load into a trailer, whether it's pigs, whether it's cattle, whether it's sheep, goats, whatever the case may be, you know what kind of struggle that can be. And so that really was the thing that helped us determine that we needed to build a better mouse trap, or in this case, a better pig trap. Back late last winter, early into the spring, we had a number of pigs that we needed to load to take to processing. And a couple years ago, we had bought an old trailer that had a slide gate on the rear that worked really good, but it was really rusty and it just wasn't safe for the highway anymore, so we ended up getting rid of it. And I ended up borrowing a trailer off of a coworker. And that trailer was basically a horse trailer. It had a single swing gate on the rear. And it was kind of short. So the problem we were running into was when we would get the pigs up in the trailer, we couldn't get that gate, that rear gate, closed quickly enough before they jumped out. And so it was just a real problem getting those pigs loaded. So we ended up buying another trailer, and we bought one that had a slide gate on it, and that's made a huge difference. But part of the problem is we got to get those pigs in that trailer, and there's a step up. Also, just getting them narrowed down and getting their noses pointed in the right direction is a bit of a challenge. So we ended up coming up with our loading chute. So if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that we've got a couple of friends, Steve and Coral. They've been on a couple of videos, and we've talked about them a couple times. But Steve is an excellent carpenter. My dad's a good carpenter, but that gene absolutely skipped me. I'm not much of a carpenter. If the measurements are anything less than increments of an inch, I just can't do it. I'm just not very adept at that kind of thing. But Steve's an excellent carpenter, and so we talked to Steve a little bit about the problem that we were having, and he came up with this design based on some things that he had seen online and just some ideas. He's a very creative guy, but a super good carpenter. So Steve ended up building this for us. So what I want to do is we're going to walk around. I'm going to give you the measurements. We're going to talk about the length, the height. We're going to look underneath it. We're going to talk about how we move it around. And I think I may have some video. I'll see if I can find it. I may have some video of some pigs actually walking up the chute, and I'll try to splice some of that in. But let's get the tape measure and see if I can read it, and let's check some measurements on this thing and talk a little bit about how it's built. All right, so let's get some measurements on this thing. So these are 5.5-inch decking boards that we have put on the side to use as sides. We've cut them at 85.5 inches long. So decking boards, 5.5 inches wide, 84.5 inches long on each side. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 per side. So that's basically the sides. Overall height from the base of the chute to the top of the decking boards is about 75.5 inches tall. So we ended up using pressure treated material for the sides. I had some scrap lumber laying around that is not pressure treated that we had bought for another project that we basically used to build the frame. Bottom frame, the bottom runner is 81 inches long, and then the stringers that are going up the side, they go all the way to the bottom, and they are about 84 inches tall. So it's a basic box construction on the bottom with the stringers on the side that the decking boards are attached to. I'm going to lift it up. Let's take a look underneath it. So I think you can see the underside of the chute pretty well right there. Again, the base, the box, 81 inches long. On the sides, from side to side, is about 44 1/4. These are true 2x6s that I had, again, stuff that I had left over from another project, but it was rough cut from a sawmill here locally. So, see, we've got the 2x6s here that have we basically just built a pretty square box to get those started, and then doubled them up on the ends for additional support. Also, along the inside, we put another 2x6 that runs the width of the chute that the fork sits on whenever we're ready to move it. We just pull the tractor up, slide the forks in the pallet fork style holes, and we're able to pick it up. It is just a little bit heavy. I've got a 40 horsepower Coyote. It does lift it fine. Feels just a little bit squirrely in the seat of your pants, but I've moved this up hills, down hills, and it seems to work fine without much problem at all. Let's put it back down. Let's crawl inside and we'll take a look at the floor. So just to show for perspective, this is the back side. Looks exactly like the other side where we took the measurements at. So the floor, Steve done some pretty cool stuff with the floor. The floor does extend the full length of the chute, except on the far end, there's a little bit of an overlip. 96 3/4 inches on the floorboards there. On the far side, on the trailer side, we did put a little bit of an extra lip here so that in theory the floor could fit inside the trailer, and then this would butt up against the trailer. In retrospect, there's a little bit of a design flaw with that. If you push the floor up into the trailer, the slide gate is going to hit and you're not going to be able to close the gate once you get the animals in. So probably would have been fine just to back this off, back about flush with the actual chute. But I mean, it works okay. We just know that we've got to leave a little bit of extra room, and then between where the trailer is and the back side of the chute, we typically will put like a T-post and then hang a feed bag or something over it, just to kind of give that illusion that there's no opening there for the animal to get out. So that's really the only real issue, is that we probably should not have left this lip on here as much as we did. But it's fine, it works okay. Overall width of the floor from sideboard to sideboard is 35 inches. We also put Steve also put some treads in here so that the animals, as they're coming up, they do have something that they can get some traction on. So that helps them to have a little bit of a foothold as they're moving up into the trailer. Another cool feature that Steve built into this is the floor does raise and lower, and we've got peg holes on each side. Really takes two people to do it, but we've got peg holes on each side that we can insert some bolts in, and we can set the angle of the floor as it's coming up. So that's a nice little feature there. If you need to lower it down, you can go all the way down. If your trailer is on a little bit of an incline, or you've got a trailer that's tall in the rear, it does give you an option to be able to raise and lower that floor on the loading end, so that the animals don't have as much of a step going across that threshold up into your trailer. Hinged at the rear, just with some lag bolts. There's the inside. Lag bolt just goes all the way through. Created a hinge. Just a real simple hinge. Works out great. To add some stability to the walls, Steve did put a header board over top, attached to the uprights on both sides, and that does add some stability to keep the walls from. You don't have a lot of flex in the wall there, so that ends up working out really nice. And then finally, kind of like you saw in the first part of the video, whenever we were picking it up, Pallet fork holes are there. We measured those out so that the pallet forks were the maximum width apart, so that we could have a nice wide base to pick the chute up with, and works out really good. Like I say, can feel just a little bit squirrely in the seat of your pants whenever you're lifting it, moving it around, but it's really pretty stable. And also, this thing has lost a little bit of weight since we built it. We've had it on a diet. These decking boards for the sides and the floor, pressure treated, they were super wet whenever we got them. I mean, they were moist. Water would run out of them whenever Steve would put the screws in. But they have dried out, so it has lost a little bit of weight. And then we also always make sure that we've got some good ballast on the back of the tractor. That's just the flail mower, probably about the heaviest thing I've got. So it works out really good. Another thing that we probably should have done, we built this, or Steve built this before we actually had the trailer that we've got now. And so we were kind of guessing at the width, and ended up building it, the width inside to inside is 36 inches. Probably could have reduced that just a little bit so that it fits a little tighter at the doorway of the trailer, and a little bit tighter in terms of an internal distance for the animals. We have not had a pig turn around. They probably could, but once we get them started, they usually go pretty good. We've not had a pig turn around. I think if you had something smaller, sheep or goats, yeah, they probably could get turned around, and that might be a little bit of a challenge. But you know, it works great. Don't have any complaints about that. But you know, if I were building it again, instead of that 36-inch internal distance, probably would cut that down to either 32 or maybe even 30, just to make sure that you had a nice tight distance between the internal walls. So that is our loading chute. It works really well. It's been a lifesaver for us. We've used it now a couple of times for loading pigs, and it has taken quite a bit of stress out of getting those pigs on the trailer. Once we get them up in the chute, they do go pretty good, and get them moving. You do have to kind of stand behind them with a little bit of a push, but they move. And the chute, again, the chute's taken a lot of stress out, and made the whole process much easier whenever it comes loading time. All right, so that's our loading chute. If you've got any questions, please leave me a comment down below. I'll be glad to answer any questions. If there's another measurement that you want, I'll be glad to measure and send that to you. Don't mind a bit. I don't have a materials list, and I don't have a materials cost. Went back and looked, couldn't find the receipt for whenever we bought primarily the pressure treated stuff and the screws. I had some of these 2x6s here, but I don't have a materials list or a materials cost. I apologize. So that, you know, Steve and I have talked. This really may be a good ebook to put together sometime, with all the time that we've got on our hands between him working at the winery and you know, me farming and regular job here. But anyway, again, if you got any questions or you want a measurement, leave me a comment down below. Be glad to get that to you. All right, so let's talk about the giveaway. Last week we hit 1,000 subscribers, and I can't thank y'all enough. When I got kind of serious about this YouTube channel, January of this year, I thought my goal was to try to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We hit it in mid-July. So, apologize for the voice. It's allergies or something. But anyway, hit that 1,000 subscriber mark way before I ever thought it would. But anyway, thank you so much for subscribing, following along with us. We've had a lot of just super comments and interaction with folks that are out there. We've had some folks that have come to the farm that have found us on YouTube. We've got some customers, some folks that are buying product from us, and again, can't thank you enough. So we're going to do a giveaway. So here's the deal. We're going to do a $50 Amazon card. You should be seeing this video on Friday morning, July 31st. I'm going to leave it for a week, and over the course of that week, we're going to do the drawing. I guess that would be August the 7th. We're going to do the drawing on August the 7th. Leave me a comment down below, and on your honor, this is on your honor system, I want you to go out and support a local farm in your community over the course of the next week. Go support that local farm, whether it's buy something from them, thank them for what they're doing, that's on your honor. I'm just going to depend on you to do that, but please go out and support a local farm in your community. Go to the local farmer's market, buy you some produce, go buy you a pack of chicken, go buy you a pack of pork chops, bacon, whatever, but just support a local farm. In the comment down below, just leave me a comment. You can leave the comment, the name of the farm that you've gone out and supported or not. That's entirely up to you. But I would like for you to find a local farm like what we're doing here. Some guys that are busting tail and trying to make it. Just go support them. We're going to do the drawing. We'll use the random comment selector, and we'll do a $50 Amazon card. Or if you're local to Central North Carolina, I'll do a $50 shopping credit for our product. You can come here and buy $50 worth of stuff. We'll give you $50 worth of stuff, or we'll do the Amazon card. Entirely up to you. You just let me know what you want to do whenever we do the name, and I reach out to whoever the winner was. So that's the deal on the drawing. Friday, July the 31st is when this video should show up. We're going to draw 7 days after that. So I think that's it. I'm going to leave some links to some videos, some other stuff we got going on over here on the side. Appreciate y'all watching. If you've not hit that subscribe button and you just found us, subscribe, join into our drawing, and see if you can win that $50 Amazon card. But appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.